Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel, and today, after a long wait amount of time, at least on my end, I am finally making a video on my favorite aircraft, the ChanceVought F4U Corsair. And in particular, we're playing the ChanceVought F4U 1C Corsair. Now, this is my all-time absolute favorite aircraft of ever. Now, this plane was so feared by the Japanese during World War II that it was nicknamed the Whistling Death because of the noise the propeller made when it was diving to either strafe or shoot down enemy aircraft, or strafe target positions that the Japanese had, or ships. This aircraft, had an 11-to-1 kill-to-death ratio against Japanese Zeros in the Pacific. That is second only to the Hellcat, and in particular, I think the Corsair is better than the Hellcat. I'll go straight out and say it. I think the Corsair, when put toe-to-toe against an F6F Hellcat, outperforms the Hellcat. The Corsair is just, look at how beautiful this plane is. One of the first aircraft to feature a gull wing design. Has a 13-foot propeller, which is the largest propeller ever put on a single-engine aircraft. It is powered by a Pratt & Whitney 2800 double wasp engine. Same engine that's found on a P-47 and a F6F Hellcat. This particular version has 20mm cannons, 4 of them. Earlier war versions had 650 calibers. So, it's a very powerful aircraft. It saw service from, early World War II, 1942s, with the Marine Corps. Entered naval, versions, and saw service with the on the aircraft carriers in, 44, 45, late 43. And even saw use in the Korean War. This plane is an absolute powerhouse when it comes to things of, fighter bomber, fighter escort. When people think of fighter escorting, they think of P-51s, P-47s, P-38s, P-17s, and all that in Europe, in the European theater against the Germans. They don't think of the naval pilots who flew Corsairs and P-38s and escorted B-24 Liberators and B-25s against the Japanese. And that is a very interesting thing to read about. The Corsair excessively escorted B-24 Liberators and B-25 Mitchells on bombing missions against the Japanese. Now, in terms of how it plays in the game, it is a really good boom and zoom fighter. It has, like I said, this one in particular has got the 420 mils. We missed our shots there. That's alright. So we're going to get on this Dorner 335. See if we... Oh, yeah. That was nasty. Alright, there's one guy. Now, the Corsair is the fastest single-engine prop I think the American service during World War II. It was just slightly slower than the twin-engine P-38, but produced, an amazing amount of horsepower. I think the only plane that could compare to it was possibly the P-51 with its Merlin. Also, interesting fact, the Corsair's landing gears could be used as a dive brake. That guy's going to dodge his nose here. So the Corsairs had a certain door on the front of the gear that could be used as a dive brake for high-speed dives for dive bombing targets. Well, we're going to get shot down here. Whoopsie. Now, we did get third-partied there, but this plane is still amazing. I mean, War Thunder can't even comprehend how just absolutely astonishingly powerful this aircraft was. Here's the engine we were talking about. Our 2800 Pratt & Whitney cooling type air. It's a big engine. This is why this aircraft also had a nickname the Americans gave it, called the Hognose. More history of this aircraft. The reason why it, is often played under than the F6F Hellcat is the fact that the Hellcat saw service with the United States Navy before the Corsair, despite the Corsair entering service well before the Hellcat. The reason for this is this Hognose. Now, early Corsair variants, like the F4U 1A that's shown here, you don't see a whole lot of difference. The difference being here in the landing gear. Now, and in the caliber of weapons it can use. Later Corsair variants, like the F4U 1C and the F4U 1D, had a buffier landing gear. And they had absorbents to help land on carriers. Something the F4U 1A, this one in particular being the United States Marine Corps version, and this F4U 1A that's in the game, did not have this. This is why they could not be fielded on aircraft carriers, is they bounced on landing. And overall, this plane was extremely difficult to land because you have to get that tail hook down on a wire, and it's hard to see when you have this entire hognose. Also, the plane had a really bad tendency to go in a flat spin and stall off of its left side in an unrecoverable flat spin when landing. So this plane is more difficult to fly than the Hellcat. But I've heard veterans talk about the Corsair and how, powerful of an aircraft she truly was. And I know that's a, pilot preference, who flew the plane and all that. But I gotta agree with them. I mean, the Corsair is a beautiful airplane. Look at, the gull wings. That's allowed them to store more of them on aircraft carriers. The absolute, I can't even fathom it into words. I am 100% making another video about this aircraft in the future, rather it be a cinematic or just a talks about the aircraft, I guess. This is not going to be the first video you'll see on my channel about this plane. It's my favorite. There's just no way. Maybe we'll do an entire deep dive on every Corsair in the game. That's, something to see. Make sure to comment down below what type of video you'd want to see for that and what type of planes I should do next. And it would mean a lot to me if you guys hit that like button and subscribed. We're getting close to 1K. If you didn't enjoy the video, feel free to leave a dislike. But do comment down below on the way I can improve the channel, because then I can make content that everyone enjoys. As always, stay safe, stay awesome, and I'll see you guys in the next one.